Hi, I'm Keith Barton, and in this video I want to share a rather unusual situation that I found myself in recently. This was a patient with a Hydrus Microstent that had been implanted 9 years ago and had started to cause problems. It wasn't causing problems because it was in the right place, it was causing problems because it was in the wrong place. I thought from the appearance that it was in the suprachoroidal space, but this turned out not to be the case. I hope you find the video and the approach to removal informative, and I hope that you don't find yourself in this situation, which is a somewhat unusual situation. Hello. In this video I'm going to describe how I dealt with a problematic hydrus, and specifically how it was removed from the eye. This hydrus can be seen protruding into the anterior chamber under a pterygium 8 weeks after insertion, which was around 9 years ago. On gonioscopy, the appearance was suggestive of suprachoroidal rather than Schlemm's canal placement. "15 months later, in 2017, the appearance was unchanged, and, if anything, more convincing of suprachoroidal placement. Three and a half years after implantation in 2019, the appearance was still unchanged and there were no ongoing concerns. At this point, a Hydrus Microstent was then implanted in the fellow eye, and this is the appearance on the first postoperative day. Four to 5 years later, in 2024, the visual acuity had gradually reduced to 660 in the eye that had originally been implanted in 2015. There was significant corneal edema, and the central corneal endothelial density was reduced at 875 compared with 1537 in the fellow eye. The malpositioned hydrus was suspected to be compromising the endothelial cell count and to be causing chronic discomfort. The decision was therefore taken to attempt removal of the malpositioned hydrus. I first attempted to snag the hydrus using a Sinskey hook. However, one hydrus window needs to be accessible for the Sinskey hook to be effective. There was no such accessible window in this case. While a Sinskey hook can easily be inserted into the hydrus window, it cannot be used to snag the flanges or the slot in the hydrus inlet. Instead, I used the micrograspers to gently tease the hydrus circumferentially, while avoiding radial movements that might disinsert the iris root. This manoeuvre successfully frees the first window, though the rest of the implant remains tethered in the tissues. After one more attempt to free the rest of the hydrus, it is obvious that the device is not going to shift. Rather than suprachoroidal as originally assumed, the hydrus seems to be trapped within the peripheral iris stroma. Consequently, the hydrus can be freed by gentle dissection of the anterior iris stroma using 23 gauge vitrectomy scissors. Eventually, the hydrus is completely free and can be removed from the anterior chamber. The viscoelastic is then removed and the wounds hydrated. 4 weeks after surgery, some angle and peripheral iris details can still be seen through the residual corneal edema. The angle and peripheral iris appear to have sustained much less visible trauma than anticipated at the start of surgery. Though the patient is still likely to require endothelial keratoplasty to restore corneal clarity. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video useful, and I hope you never have to remove a hydrus from the iris stroma or suprachoroidal space, as these are potentially hazardous procedures.